Welcome back, y'all, to the podcast with self-improvement. You know what I'm saying? Is the movement. Um, Welcome back to the best self-improvement channel out there right now, the Jimmy One of One podcast. First real podcast episode today, y'all. I know this is episode 2, but the first one was kind of like introductory one, so it didn't really count. It was kind of giving like a general overview of what I will be talking about, what to expect, what y'all want to see, and how we're pretty much going to go about this whole podcast. So that was kind of the first episode, giving y'all a warm welcome to what we're doing over here, man. And today we're going to kind of get into a little bit of a deeper dive into this podcast and the things I will be talking about. I put a story out on my Instagram about, hey, ask me a question. I made it anonymous, so it would made people more inclined to actually ask the question. I put, hey, ask me a question pertaining to self improvement, mental health, motivational stuff, inspirational stuff, fitness, social life, dating, things like that, so I can answer it in this podcast episode. I really like the concept because I got some really good questions I'm going to talk about here. I got like 6, 7, 8 really good questions. Sorry, guys, I cannot count for whatever reason. I wasn't good at math, so that's probably why. But nonetheless, we're here. I'm going to answer these questions for y'all. But first, make sure to show me some love on the podcast, man. Share it to someone out there who really could use some self improvement content in their life. So go ahead and show me some love, man. We're gonna keep coming out with episodes, man. So stay tuned. And without further ado, enough from me rambling. We're about to answer these questions. I got 8 really good questions I want to dive into. We'll go by them one by one. If you're watching the YouTube version of this, I will leave a timestamp for like each topic, each question, so you can skip through if you want to. I suggest you watch the whole thing though, because it's gonna be pretty good. So, but without further ado, let's get into it. Also, y'all, make sure to, before we actually get into it, make sure to follow me on Instagram at Jimmy One of One, and subscribe to my YouTube, Jimmy One of One. Those are also 2 platforms I will be on the most if you're just listening to it. Follow me on those platforms right there and show me some love. But now let's get into this thing, man. First question from someone was, what inspires you? That was literally the question. So I wanted to answer this question first because it's gonna give me a sense of purpose in terms of, well, it's gonna help me kind of give y'all sense of kind of why I started this podcast and things like that. And what really inspires me is there's a lot of different components that come to it. That's why it's a good question, but I wish it was more specific. What inspires me the most? Honestly, now what really inspires me the most is knowing where I want to be in life. And what inspired me has really changed throughout the months and years that I've been on my self-improvement journey. I've been on my self-improvement journey for about 3 years now. Started in 2020. It was actually right before COVID. I know a lot of people kind of changed their mindsets and lifestyle choices and things like that during COVID, but I actually started my self-improvement journey right before COVID even started. So I kind of got a head start in that department, and COVID only made it better for me in terms of, finding myself and going on my self-improvement journey. But back then, and still to this day, what inspires me is where I came from in the past. And for those of y'all that don't know me, I am a individual that's very hard on myself. I'm an individual that doesn't give myself too much credit. I'm always beating myself up about a lot of things. Whether I deserve it or not, is not really the point. I do beat myself up a lot about it, and I'm aware of it now. But back then I really wasn't. And back then I lacked a lot of confidence. I lacked a lot of self-love. I lacked a lot of self-awareness. I lacked a lot of things like that were very valuable into me being potentially being happy and at peace with myself in life. Now that I am finding peace with myself, now that I am loving myself more, now that I am giving myself more credit on the things I do and the strides I've made in my life, I can look back and be like, damn, like from where I came from to where I am now is absolutely crazy. And this is just the beginning. Like there's a lot more stuff for me to learn. There's a lot of stuff for me to get better at. I can improve in a lot of different areas of my life. Discipline, my mentality can be a little bit better. My, how I take care of myself can be even better. My financials can be even better. So there's a whole bunch of different things. My physical can be even better. So there's a lot of different things that I know I still have to get better at. But looking back on the past, that really inspires me to be great and to keep pushing. But what really inspires me now is where I want to be, because now I think I have a sense of direction of where I want to be in life and a sense of what I want out of life in general. And that inspires me to be great, because it's very motivating to know like where I want to be, and like if I get to this point, I'll be like the happiest person in the world, man. Like that's just how I feel about it, and that's what really inspires me right now, towards the end of 2022. That's a great question though. Second question: how do I combat hardships of body dysmorphia while having people look up to you? I know it can be hard hearing, quote, "I'm trying to get like you," but in your head, it's a different perspective. Let me take a sip of this Kool-Aid real quick. Literally. For those of y'all that aren't watching the video version, just listening, I actually do have Kool-Aid in my hand. Kool-Aid energy drink, so it's not really unhealthy. But that's a great question. Throwing a little bit of fitness in there. It's also a great question because I know exactly what you're talking about. That goes back to what I was just saying about like not giving myself credit and being kind of hard on myself, because for those of y'all that have seen me from where I was physically, we're talking just strictly physically now. If those of y'all seen me from where I came from physically 2-3 years ago to where I am now, it's crazy. I graduated high school in 2019, y'all, and I graduated high school in 2019, and to see where I am in 2022 at 22 years old, I couldn't be prouder of myself. Now, there was a stretch where I was dealing with some very bad body dysmorphia, namely last year, really. 2021 was a really bad year for me in terms of my self-image. And the thing with fitness, the thing with working out, man, there's so many benefits. There's the mental component, getting out of the real world problems for an hour and a half, 2 hours while you're killing your physical body. Your mental body getting stronger, your immune system getting stronger from working out. Fitness is the overall microcosm of life, if you really think about it, in so many ways. We can touch on that later, but when you're on your fitness journey and you have a goal you want to reach and everything, you're more than likely going to have body dysmorphia, man. And that's, I think, okay, because you know that you want more for yourself. You know that you're trying to hit a goal. You know that you have to work hard to a certain degree in terms of to get to where you want to get to in terms of your fitness goals. Now, it can get overboard though. Yeah, have the mindset of I got to get better. I got to get better. Have the mindset of like, yeah, I can improve here. I can get better at this. I can, fix this up a little bit. I can be more consistent with this. But in the same breath, you got to keep it healthy, man. You can't just overly be obsessed with the next goal. You can't overly be obsessed with the next thing. You have to kind of take a step back And instead of looking at the future, looking at what you have to do now, what do you have to improve on here, what you have to do this time around, take a step back and look at the past of where you came from and where you started. You have made a lot of progress. You have came a long way from where you've came from. Go look at those progress pictures you took at the beginning of your fitness journey and compare it to yourself right now. Would yourself 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, would that version of yourself be happy with yourself right now? Hell yeah, they would be. Would your future self be happy? Probably not. And that's okay. But take a look back at where you came from, where you started. And that comes to anything, not just fitness. Take a look back at like where you started, where you came from. It kind of changes your whole perspective on where you're at in your life at that moment. So body dysmorphia is a real issue that people who work out have to deal with, and it's completely normal because we all turn into perfectionists. We all want shit to be great. We all want shit to be amazing. We all want shit to be great, to go to bode well for us. But in reality, you have to at some point be content with the progress you're making and where you're going, because you can't just be so hell-bent on the next goal, the next thing. I got to get better at this. I got to get better at that. There has to be a healthy medium in there to where it's like, man, you know what? I'm proud of myself. You got to be able to take a step back and say, damn, I'm proud of myself. And, there's people, I get told this all the time, man, like, I'm trying to get like you, or you're huge, bro, or like, dog, you look good, bro. And like, I get, literally, guys, listen, I literally get these compliments in the gym damn near daily. And not to toot my own horn or anything like that, but I get comments like that on a damn near daily basis. And sometimes my awkward ass don't know how to respond to compliments sometimes, because I don't want to give myself that credit. But if other people are seeing that in you, why wouldn't you want to see it in yourself? Why wouldn't you see it in yourself? No one's going to truly believe in you until you believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, why the hell would anyone else want to believe in you? If you're not confident in yourself, why would anyone else have confidence in you? Why should they? If you don't want to know yourself the best. So it all comes back to having that mindset of where you came from and where you started. That's a very great question, though. Dealing with hardships of body dysmorphia. Next question: how does it feel being so old now? I think I know exactly who this is. If you're listening to this and you typed this, slide up and confirm that it is you, because I have a feeling I know exactly who this is. They said, how does being so old now feel? Is there anything you want to achieve during the year? 2022 is almost over, so I'm going to assume you're meaning like the rest of 2022. As to the first question, my knees are cracking whenever I squat. My back hurts whenever I bend over to pick up something. My shoulder is in constant pain. My shoulder pops every time I try to stretch it out and rotate it. My ankles are weak and fragile, and my skin's getting wrinkly. So how 22's treating me so far, I mean, not too great. So being old feels not great right now. Now I'm playing, y'all, but No, I'm not kidding about the knee popping and the back hurt. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit kill me. But is there anything you want to achieve for the rest of this year? And that's a great question. You know, at the beginning of 2022, I had a list of shit I wanted to achieve. I had a whole list of stuff I wanted to accomplish, like any other person would, right? And how 2022 has gone so far, it hasn't lived up to those goals I've set in place that I wrote down at the beginning of the year. But that doesn't mean it's a bad year. That doesn't mean it's a failure. That just means that there was just a different direction that was took, and that's just what it is. And there has been a lot of really good things that has happened for me in 2022. Starting this podcast, hitting 1,000 subscribers on my sports page, making YouTube videos back again, and a lot of different things, man, that has been really great for me in 2022, moving forward. So it's not a failure at all. But if I had to pick something that I wanted to achieve by the end of this year, would be an even better routine and more discipline. Um, I really figured out with myself that I'm a very routine person, and I like to do things in the exact same order every single time. A microcosm of that is like with my workouts. I feel like a lot of people do this, but with me, I gotta have my drink. I gotta hit the sauna for 5 minutes. I gotta come out and stretch, and then I have to do the same workouts in the same order, unless I'm feeling a little different that day. But I have to do the same workouts in the same order with the same sets and reps every single time I come in. Like, it's repetition. And another weird thing in there about me is that I play the same music on each day. It's like Mondays, I'll have a certain playlist I'll play. Tuesday, I'll have a certain playlist I'll play. Monday I'll have a certain set of songs I play. Tuesday, I have a certain set of songs I play. Wednesday, I have a certain set of songs I play, and I have that for every single day of the week, that I work out at least. And I have to listen to those songs in the same order as well. Most of it's like with albums, so it's like in order. That's fine, but um, I'm really that weird, y'all. Like I have to be like that routine, and then I have an 8 a.m. class, and like I tell people like, damn, like I have to wake up at 5:30 a.m. Like they're like, damn, like why do you have to wake up so early? Well, I have a whole routine I have to do like in the morning, and it's very well. It doesn't have to be as time consuming as I make it, but it gets really time consuming, and I just want to make sure I get everything everything done in that routine before I head off. I'll be feeling good for the day. If there's something off or there's something missing or I couldn't get something done, I just wouldn't feel as good throughout the day. Not chalking it up as a bad day. I'm just saying that it just would feel kind of off for me, and I don't like that. So I'm a very routine person. I would like to have a better routine, have better discipline for the rest of this year. I want to be able to control my thoughts, control my emotions, control the things that I do on a daily basis. Be more productive is another thing as well. So those are the things I'm kind of looking at in terms of 2022. Closing it out really is more discipline, more routine, and a better mindset with those things. So good question. Worst pickup line I've heard. Y'all, now I've told people like so many times I've told y'all so many times on the channel, I'm not a dating channel, I'm not a female nature channel, I'm not any of those things. But one thing I can say is that a lot of the times, not all the time, a lot of the times, pickup lines are trash and they don't work. They're corny, they're lame, they don't work. But sometimes, if you're doing it for like a YouTube video, that's cool, But if you're doing it just out of nowhere, then it's kind of corny and cheesy. There's a lot of corny and cheesy pickup lines out there, but there are actually some really good ones out there that y'all can use, and I would be inclined to use them as well. But like, first thought when I see someone that I want to go up to and talk to is like, it's not like, oh, let me find a pickup line. Let me go to my notes and see like what pickup line I can use, or let me refer back to this pickup line I heard the other day, or whatever. Like, nah, that's like not my first thought. My first thought is to like approach in a unique way, but not necessarily a pickup line. Like, I want to approach and like ask a question like, hey, like blah blah blah. Steps talk about something she's wearing, or talk about something she's doing in the moment, or like ask her about it. I don't even like the normal, hey, how's it going? My name's Jimmy, and I thought you were really cute, and can I have your number? Nah, I try to refrain from that because it's so like basic. Like, girls hear that all the time, bro. They hear that all the time. Oh, I thought you were really cute, or oh, you look good over there, or oh, you look cute, you're beautiful, all this, bro. They hear that stuff every day. Like, be different. Say something about what she's wearing, or like ask her a question about what she's doing in that moment, or whatever. You at the grocery store, talk about what's in her cart, or like talk about what her shoes, if you find them interesting, or whatever shirt she got on, or what I mean. Like, if she in class, in the study hall, what you studying over there? Look like you're studying hard. Stuff like that. Like, it don't gotta be no cheesy pickup line, y'all. So it's like, I don't know. That's just my experience. Um, it's gone good with the mindset I have going into it. I don't know about y'all, but that's just kind of how I see it. Good question though. And there's a lot of bad pickup lines out there. I can't come up with the worst one I've heard, but there's a lot of pretty bad ones out there. Like, it's not isolated to just one. Next thing, what keeps you consistent when you don't have motivation? Y'all, I kind of have a confession to make. You know how I'm all about self improvement and you know, mental health and motivation, consistency, like inspirational stuff, all these things, I'm associating myself with, right? And it's really not me. I've been faking it this whole time, and you know, I've been lying about all the stuff I've been saying in the videos. I'm playing. But there is some truth. What keeps you consistent when you don't have motivation, guys? Honestly, I feel like there's some people out there that think like I'm hella consistent and hella disciplined and hella on point and hella got my shit together. Man, I'm just like y'all, bro. I ain't got shit together, bro. Like, I'm just like one of y'all trying to figure it out, man. But in all seriousness, there are times where there are moments and stretches of time, which honestly I can say is right now, that I'm not as consistent on what I need to be doing. I'm not as disciplined on the things I need to be doing. And I don't have like the motivation to have that discipline, to have that consistency going. It's hard sometimes, man. Like, guys, it's life, man. Like, you're not always gonna feel like doing something. You're not always gonna, like, even the shit you love doing the most. Sometimes you want to just stay the farthest away from it as possible. And you don't want to be around it for whatever reason. That's just how our brains work. That's just how we are as humans. You don't want to do shit sometimes. And, that's okay. But in terms of this question, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you consistent when you don't have motivation? When I was consistent on stuff, I'll tell y'all this, man. I'll break it down like this. And I can break it down for a longer period of time since we're on a podcast now. I've broke it down in videos before, but briefly. With motivation is an emotion at the end of the day. It's how you feel, right? Oh, I feel motivated. Motivation is an emotion, right? Happy is an emotion, right? Angry is an emotion, right? Somber is an emotion, right? Sorrow is an emotion. Excited is an emotion. When you feel one of those emotions, do you always feel it? When you feel sad, are you always sad? I'm assuming you said no. So it's the same thing with motivation. Are you always going to be motivated? The answer is no. So how can I stay consistent on the things I'm doing if I'm not always motivated? Because you're not always going to be motivated. That's just the fact of the matter. Which means that if you're relying on solely motivation to be consistent, consistency doesn't exist with you. You see what I'm saying? So in order to garner that consistency, to gain that traction, to get the ball rolling with consistency and whatever you're doing in life, it comes from discipline. And where does discipline come from? Because discipline is not an emotion. Discipline's a lifestyle. Discipline comes from a lifestyle. Discipline comes from the things you're doing on a daily basis, which frame your mindset in a certain way to where you're able to do things on a consistent basis, whether you want to do it or not. Whether you want to do it or not, you're still going to do it because you tell yourself you have to do it. Because you have these things in place. That's where the discipline comes in. You're setting up your lifestyle in a way to where you can be as consistent as possible. And that comes with discipline. You can always be disciplined. Now, you can always be disciplined. That's possible. You can't always be motivated. That's not possible. With discipline, you are able to be consistent because you are able to be consistent as long as you're setting up your lifestyle in a way for you to ramp up to be consistent. I hope that makes sense. This summer I was reading, it was Atomic Habits I was reading by James Clear, if I'm not mistaken. Probably the second or third best self-improvement book I've read. I'll probably talk about books on the podcast too. Why not? Atomic Habits is probably the second best self-improvement book I've read after Think and Grow Rich. And with Atomic Habits, the way to build those habits, habits are consistent things that you do. So to build those consistent things that you do, there's a portion in there that talked about changing up your lifestyle, changing the cues around you, the triggers around you. So, for instance, in the summer, while I was reading Atomic Habits, I changed my lifestyle. This is what I used to do. I used to get up, wash my face and everything, and I would have videos to work on. I would have YouTube videos to work on for my sports page, right? I had things I had to do. I would get up, do what I had to do, go to the living room, sit on the couch, and this was in the summer in the morning. I would wake up, wash my face, probably eat, sit on the couch. It's morning, but the blinds are shut, the curtains are closed, and it's dark with some light shining through. I would lay down on the couch, just scroll through Instagram, scroll through Snapchat, scroll through Twitter, whatever, YouTube. And I knew I had to get stuff done, but I wasn't getting it done because I was distracted by social media. I was laying down on the couch, so it was easy to fall back asleep at that moment of time. So some days I fell back asleep, not because I was tired, because my body was telling me I'm tired because I'm laying down and I probably haven't had a blanket on me. So I'd fall back asleep and then wake up and be like, damn, like I haven't got shit done yet. And mind y'all, the morning is the most important part of the day, and I haven't got nothing done yet. So what I had to change was, as soon as I got up in the morning, open the blinds before I even sat down on the couch. Open the blinds so I can get that light in to wake up my mental. I had to put the blanket out of sight and out of mind so I won't be tempted to lie down and go back to sleep. I would have to delete social media the night before, so when I wake up, social media won't be on my phone. That way I can just solely work on the videos I had to work on in the morning. So I had no other choice but to work on the stuff in the morning. So I deleted all those cues, all those triggers for distractions. And I was able to focus, and I was able to be more productive, got a lot more stuff done. So that's how you stay consistent when you don't have motivation. It's being disciplined, and being disciplined comes with changing your lifestyle, changing your habits, changing the cues around you. I need to find the word. It's something cues, I think, but change the cues, those triggers around you that are going to bring in distractions. Now, one thing I can't live without, can't survive without, is sports. Most of y'all know me. I'm a big sports head. I have a sports channel of my own, and I cannot live without it. Sports is something that has brought peace to me for so many years, for as long as I can remember. Playing sports growing up, playing football at recess, playing basketball in high school. It was always something that was a part of me, and now that I'm not playing sports anymore, I'm still heavily in tune with sports through watching the sport, and sports, basketball, football mainly, and really just having my lifestyle kind of in a way revolve around sports. I just love it so much. It takes me away from the real world sometimes. I know a lot of people would have thought I said working out. Nah, sports, honestly, because that's like my first love, really. I can't live without sports, man. If it wasn't for sports, I don't know where I'd be, because honestly, I'm a boring person, y'all. I don't have too many interests outside of sports, man. Like sports and this type of stuff, and that's it, bruh. I'm a boring person, so that's it. I can't live without sports, man. I love it to death. What's something you do to push through hard times mentally? I like this question a lot. I embrace the hard times. I do something a little different than most people do. I embrace the hard times. People have hard times and they're trying so hard to get out of it. They're trying so hard to avoid it in the first place. With me, I know that tough times are coming. I know that tough times are ahead. I know that there's going to be good, there's going to be bad. There's going to be a roller coaster. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. And I hate roller coasters, but there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. You have to expect that with life. With life, it's inevitable that bad things are going to happen. Inevitable, because you can't control that stuff. And how I'm able to push through hard times is not having to worry about the inevitable, not having to worry about the bad times that are ahead, not worrying about the bad times that are here if I can't control it. Now, if I can't control it, then I'm going to do something about it and change it, right? But if I can't control it, why would I try to control it? Why would I try to control it? People try to control situations that they simply cannot. And that's where they mess up. That's where they lose their peace. That's where they lose their happiness, because they're trying to control a situation that they're not able to control. How are you able to change the channel on the remote? There's no batteries in the remote. You don't have the batteries. How can you change the channel? Hopefully that was a good example. I'm not too sure. But you have to control the things you can control in this life. That's the only way you're going to survive in this world. That's the only way you're going to survive mentally. You're controlling the stuff you can control. And that's where my mindset changed. That was the biggest mindset change for me in 2022, was controlling the stuff I can control, and the things I can't control, I just leave it be. Let it aside. And that way, it's crazy. This year more than ever, I really haven't been depressed. I haven't been stressed. I haven't been, I deal with anxiety all the time. That's something that's never really going to go away, but stress and depression are really fueled by you trying to control what you can't. You can't push a brick wall. You can't push a brick wall. You're trying to push a brick wall. It's not moving. Why? And you're getting mad that the wall's not moving. It's a brick wall, bro. I think that's a better example. I'm going to leave it at that. Last question, man, over here. How do you regulate emotional state? It goes back to what I was saying about controlling the stuff you can't control and not worrying about the things you can't. That's really how I do with my emotional state. I know I'm going to be at times not happy. At times I'm going to be pissed off. At times I'm going to be, irritated. I get irritated a lot, y'all. I might not show it because I'm such an even keel person, at least on my face, I think. Some people say I have a resting bitch face, but I don't think so. I regulate my emotional state by simply embracing my emotions and trying to be as even keel as possible, because I know there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, but I have to find that medium. I have to find that middle ground that's not going to let me get too high or too low. And I've always been pretty much an even keel person. I think I really do a good job of controlling my emotions, but now more than ever, like, I can control it just like I can control it like no other, and I'm very happy for myself about that. Yeah, man, that's gonna conclude this podcast episode. 40 minutes, I believe we're at right now. Like, that's crazy, but I might do another one of these, a part 2, just to kind of get y'all to know more about me, man. That's what this episode was about, for y'all to get to know more about me, and I really enjoyed it, man. So I might do a part 2 to it. Let me know if y'all want me to do a part 2, and I can do it. But in the meantime, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. We're coming out with more stuff like this every week, hopefully. Hopefully stay consistent with this thing, man. We just talked about consistency, Jimmy. Damn, I gotta get on it, man. But we will, no doubt about it. So if y'all listening to this, share it to someone you think needs self-improvement, inspiration, knowledge, stuff like that. And yeah, ending it off here. I'm going to finish it off like I always do it with the videos. Be different. Be a one of one. I'm out. Peace. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. But y'all know what I always say. Be different. Be a one of one. I'm out. Peace.